Is there life after death? Is it possible to cross a threshold and return to the world you once were in? Death, without a doubt, is a mystery that really overwhelms the human being because perhaps it is as old as humanity itself. For a long time it has been assumed that man is composed of two substances, body and soul, and that after perishing, the latter will remain with their loved ones until the rest of our days beyond presences. Energies that, on numerous occasions, have been felt and even viewed. But what happens when we lose a pet? The debate about whether animals have a soul capable of walking the real world again is and will remain a mystery. However, there are numerous testimonies which claim to have received the visit of their little furry once they have passed away. The sound of his little paws down the hall, the rattle of his necklaces, and even scratches on the door are some of the evidences that shows that this theory could be true, and that the tie that unites us with our little four-legged friends will be always is eternal. It has been said previously that testimonies about the appearance of animals that have returned to walk among the living are numerous, and for this reason, we will show you 7 of the most surprising stories about these paranormal phenomena. Number 7. Yabba and Maureen, a true story of friendship. And here we go. Our first story is quite moving. Maureen and Yabba, owner and pet, were inseparable companions until poor Yabba passed away because of a long and arduous battle with cancer and many other health problems. Maureen was as crushed that she started calling out to Yabba while taking pictures in order to capture the animal's spirit on film. And surprisingly, she succeeded. Apparently, one of the taken pictures showed the figure of a dog. But that's not the end of the story. One day, Maureen claimed that his friend's ball moved on its own and that the same night she felt something gentle nibble on her toe, which was something Yabba used to do as a token of affection. And what about you? What do you think? How would you react when feeling that something that cannot be seen is trying to play with your foot? Number 6. Nightlife, a loyal friend. The next story took place in the United States, particularly in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Its main character is Nightlife, a dog apparently owned by a local bartender and that used to accompany home patrons who were so much drunk, as a loyal friend does, isn't it? When Nightlife died, he was buried in a local pet cemetery, but it is said that this dog never really left. On numerous occasions, the ghost of Nightlife has been reported to continue waiting for customers leaving the bar to walk them safely to their homes. On other occasions, the taxi drivers have reported how a dog begged to enter their taxis but then disappeared after opening the doors. Is it true that this faithful animal continues to ensure the safety of those who entered and left its owner's bar? It's very strange. Number 5. Beyond presences, even 1 year after leaving this world behind. Not all stories about deceased animals which have been sighted again have been recorded or taken on a photograph. Some stories date back to almost 100 years. In 1916, Albert Payson, who was an author of dog stories and breeder of collies in Sunnybank, New Jersey, lost his beloved dog Rex. However, 1 year later, Albert lived one of the most stunning moments in his whole life. While taking the dinner with a colleague, Henry A. Healy, who couldn't stop looking at the floor during the event, said, "Bert, I wish there was someone or something on earth that adored me as much as Rex worships you. I watched him all evening. He lay there at your feet the whole time, looking up at you as a devotee might look up to his god." But Rex has already died. How is it possible that Healy had been able to see his friend's dog without suspecting it could be a ghost? And there is still more. It is quite possible that Albert Payson's other pets also sensed Rex's presence around the house, as they always avoided going anywhere near the spot he had always slept in. Number 4. A hero of the sea. Let's travel now 200 years back and know the story about a German shepherd named Sheba, who in the late 1800s was traveling from Cuba to Bermuda by ship, along with its family and their 2 young daughters. During the journey, the ship was heavily hit by a hurricane and fell apart. The 2 girls clung to Sheba in the water and he tried to keep them afloat, but the sea was too ferocious and one of them was swept away. Sheba was eventually able to save one of the sisters by pulling her to the shore, and then she went back out into the churning waves to save the other sister. Unfortunately, neither the dog nor the missing girl were ever seen again. However, since that day, there have been many sightings of a German shepherd that swims out to sea and then disappears into the waves. Other reports of the mysterious dog are more detailed. On one occasion, a 9-year-old girl claimed that she had fallen off her parents' sailboat, and while trying to stay afloat, a German shepherd appeared to drag her to the beach. Subsequently, the dog disappeared. In general, it is believed that this ghost dog tries to rescue young people in distress who fall into the sea, just as he did with that young woman so many years ago. Dogs are usually the most commonly reported type of ghostly pet, but it's also possible to find testimonies about other pets such as cats. In this case, the best-known story is possibly that one of the spooky cat that haunted on the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C. Number 3. Demon Cat, a devil in the Capitol. It is uncertain just who the cat could have belonged to, but lore has it that it was one of the many cats brought in to patrol the tunnels under the Capitol hunting rats. Known as Demon Cat, earned its reputation as he was a sinister presence. The cat is said to look like a normal black cat, only with glowing red eyes and the ability to grow to enormous sizes if provoked. It is said that after its death, he likes to appear out of nowhere to scare people, disappearing before making contact. The Demon Cat of Capitol Hill reportedly is most active before important events or especially tragic disasters. In fact, one guard is said to have once died of a heart attack out of fright when the malicious spectral cat lunged at him. So not all stories can be moving. As we can see, diabolical presences can also forge their way in our world. But let's come back to more current testimonies. Our next to last story took place in Swindon, England. Number 2. Blackjack, a ghost on the coach. Clochin, a user of the social network Reddit, viralized the images captured by the security camera of her house, in which she claimed to see the ghost of her cat, which died the same day, curled up on the couch in her room. In this video, you can see how her other cat gets out of bed to receive her owner, and how, when the lights come on, a dark animal-shaped figure forms on the sofa on the left. Take a look at the video and you will see. Since then, her publication has received thousands and thousands of comments about this phenomenon. Some argue that the spirit of the furry appeared as a reason for the anniversary of his death, and his intention was to say a final goodbye to her faithful companion. On the other hand, the most skeptical assure that it could be an optical effect due to the camera lens, or simply consider that the cat was physically there during the entire recording and that it was not a paranormal appearance. What do you think? Was Blackjack there as a ghost? And as long with this long list of spooky cats and dogs, there is also room for other kinds of animals. Horses. Number 1. Ghost riders. Near the busy intersection of Chicago's 95th Street and Keene, Illinois, there is an isolated wooded spot home to some horse stables and awesome riding trails. Nevertheless, this place isn't as marvelous as it seems, as several people and their horses have reported being hit and killed by cars here because of a lack of vision of the road ahead. And this is where the tales of the paranormal start. This particular intersection has long been the scene of a series of unexplained paranormal activities. Many drivers passing through claim to see horses and riders walking down the road, but as they slow down and get closer to them, they disappear as if they'd never been there. Besides, many of the riders who today walk this path with their horses claim that, for some unknown reason, their beasts become frightened and become restless when they gallop through this area. To all this, we must add the presence of an alleged spectral dog named Felix, the former pet of the local fire department, who was also buried near the intersection after years of service. So one more time, there are numerous cases in which animals are also the main characters of paranormal phenomena throughout the world. Some of them are more sinister than others, but it's clear that the debate about whether or not our pets have a soul able to return among the living is increasingly interesting. As said at the beginning, death is something that has disturbed the human being forever, and it's very possible that no one will ever discover the truth about it. In the meantime, let's continue to surprise ourselves with stories like the ones above and add that mystery point that makes life a little bit more mysterious.